Microsoft unveils the Majorana 1, its first quantum processor that uses the Majorana particle instead of electrons, that can potentially fit 1,000,000 qubits. Microsoft says it has harnessed a new state of matter using particles called Majorana fermions, a significant breakthrough to create workable topological qubits. Q&A with Satya Nadella on Microsoft's AGI plan, the quantum breakthrough with Majorana 1, how Muse will change gaming, legal barriers to AI, and more. Apple unveils the $599 iPhone 16 with a 6.1 display, a 48 million p camera, Apple Intelligence, the Cone cellular modem, USB-C, and no MagSafe, shipping February 28. Apple unveils its first in-house cellular modem, the Cone, with 5G support to replace Qualcomm modems, saying it's the most power-efficient iPhone modem ever. Apple discontinues the iPhone SE, iPhone 14, and iPhone 14 Plus. The iPhone 16 starts at $599, significantly higher than the iPhone SE's $429 starting price. Apple now only sells iPhone models with big screens in 6.1-inch, 6.7-inch, and 6.9-inch sizes, after discontinuing the 4.7-inch iPhone SE. Microsoft announces Muse A first-of-its-kind generative AI model that can generate a game environment based on visuals, players' controller actions, or both. Trump Media and Rumble sue a Brazilian Supreme Court justice, alleging he tried to illegally suppress the U.S. social media activity of conservative Brazilians. Google is bringing Circle to search-like visual searches to its Chrome and Google iOS apps without the Circle to search branding. Google is removing Gemini support from the main Google app on iOS, pushing users to download the standalone Gemini app. X is in talks to raise funds at a $44 billion valuation, matching the price Elon Musk paid for Twitter in 2022, as his proximity to Trump alters X's prospects. Signal updates its app with phishing protections after Google says Russia-linked hackers are duping Ukrainian soldiers via malicious QR codes for group invites. Valve releases the Team Fortress 2 SDK with the game's source code, allowing users to build new games based on Team Fortress 2, licensed for non-commercial use. Perplexity open sources Roan 1776, a version of the DeepSeek Roan model that CEO Aravind Srinivas says has been post-trained to remove the China censorship. Chinese game publisher NetEase has been directed to divest its overseas holdings, starting with hit game Marvel Rivals, which laid off its Seattle team. Lings. US Army soldier Cameron John Wagenius pleads guilty to hacking AT&T and Verizon and stealing a massive trove of phone records from them last year. Google launches a Gemini 2-based AI co-scientist tool to help biomedical scientists create novel hypotheses and speed up research, available to select testers. Lambda, which offers cloud services and computers to train AI, raised a $480 Series D. Sources say at a $250 billion valuation, taking its total funding to $863 million. NIST plans to cut 497 people, including 74 postdocs and most staff at its CHIPS for America program. The AI Safety Institute faces an uncertain future. Instagram updates direct messages with translation across 99 languages. Scheduling and pinning tools, music sharing features, and more on iOS and Android first. Binance US resumes USD deposits and withdrawals for the first time since June 2023, when the US SEC sued Binance US and co-founder Changpeng Zhao. Source: in text messages, Libra co-creator Hayden Davis bragged he could control Argentine President Javier Milei by making payments to Milei's sister, Karina. Bloomberg: Solana has lost $8 21% of its market value, or $20 billion, since February 14th, after Argentine President Javier Milei drew criticism for promoting Solana memecoin Libra. Uber ditches commissions in favor of fees for auto rickshaw drivers in India in response to increased competition from local rivals Rapido and Nama Bitri. French privacy startup Morena unveils the €539 Morena Pixel tablet, running its open-source forked EOS, after releasing a de-Googled smartphone in 2022. NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti review. A capable GPU for 4000 gaming DLSS 4 multi-frame gen, and runs cool, but prices fluctuate wildly, and $750 is expensive for mid-range. Austin-based autonomous shipbuilding company Saronic raised a $600 million series, led by Elad Gil at a $4 billion valuation, and unveiled plans for a next-gen shipyard. Mistral's Low Chat app tops 1 million downloads in just 14 days, quickly reaching the App Store's top free downloads slot in France. ChatGPT had 500,000 in just 6 days. Ahead Computing, a startup co-founded by former Intel execs and engineers that aims to build RISC-V chip technology, raised a $21.50 million seed led by Eclipse Ventures. Court documents. Nigeria sues Binance to reclaim $79.50 billion in alleged economic losses it says were caused by its operations in the country, and $2 billion in back taxes. Basinich, which helps companies launch open-source or customized AI models, raised $75, led by IVP and Spark Capital, at a $825 million valuation, and claims 100 clients. Cambridge, MA-based Open Evidence, which offers an AI chatbot to help physicians, raised $75 million from Sequoia at a $1 billion valuation, its first outside funding round. Verkada, which makes smart cameras, alarms, sensors, and more for enterprises, raised a $200 million Series E at a $4.50 billion valuation, up from $3.20 billion in September 2022. Alibaba and others approached DeepSeek about funding after its rise, but CEO Liang Wenfeng is cautious. Highflyer is discussing a pivot from research. Crunchbase launches AI tools to predict where startups are heading, including funding, acquisitions, and IPOs, based on its 17 years of startup data. Augury, which uses AI to detect malfunctions in factory machines, raised a $72.50 million, potentially rising to $100 million, led by Lightrock at a $1 billion valuation. In 2024, sanctioned jurisdictions and entities received $15.80 billion crypto, or 39% of all illicit crypto transactions. Tornado Cash inflows jumped 108% from 2023. Shift4 agrees to a $1.50 billion deal to buy Swiss tax-free shopping services provider Global Blue Group. Shift4 handles $250 billion in annual payments from 200,000 companies. Apple tells the UK CMA that some of its mobile browser remedies would slow innovation, and it would not be appropriate to mandate free WebKit and iOS access. In Q4, Coinbase changed how it reports users' crypto assets, taking them off its balance sheet, highlighting the lingering issue of who owns the digital assets. Google agrees to pay €326 million to settle an Italian tax case from 2015 to 2019, covering sanctions, penalties, and interest. Milan prosecutors plan to drop the case. Analog Devices, one of the largest analog chip makers, increases its stock buyback program by $10 billion to $11. Sales dropped 23% in 2024 as chip demand slows. How PDD's Temu, the world's biggest online dollar store, got sucked into President Trump's trade war. A marketer expects Temu to have 30 billion in US sales in 2025. Internal documents, emails, and federal data suggest Indian giant TCS has used L1E Manager, Visas, in ways that raise concerns about undercutting us workers. In a breakthrough, University of Oxford scientists sent the first quantum algorithm wirelessly between two separate quantum processors via particle entanglement. Some US ByteDance investors argue that they don't need us, TikTok, for success, as 80% of ByteDance's revenue comes from China, the valuation's real driving force.